Right, so let's get this started tonight. Welcome to the Cult of Cinema. I am Aaron, and if you can hear in the background, I'm doing laundry because I'm going tomorrow to visit my home province of Newfoundland to see my dad. And tonight, in the 31 Days of Horror, and I'm not quite sure if anybody's going to be here because it's pretty late, uh, even for me coming on here. We're going to talk about, well, we're going to talk about the Halloween franchise. Hey there, Jason. Welcome. I figured we talk about it in general. We talk about the different kind of the pluses, the minuses, the different timelines, some of the things that I think they did right with the Halloween franchise, some of the things I think they did wrong, and discuss, debate, and have all that kinds of fun. So if you're getting a new like gaming system in the upcoming future, and you're like a PS5 or Xbox Series X, and you've got your 4K TV already set up and stuff like that, then you're a horror fan, you probably already got this. If you don't, I I strongly recommend it. Hey there, Amy. Welcome, man. I did not think I was gonna be on tonight, but I uh, I wanted to keep my word and come back on here tonight. I wanted to spend the day mostly with my better half because basically, well, we worked today, and then once we got off work, we realized that we weren't going to see each other for 7 days. So we decided to just sit down and watch TV. We watched SmackDown, which was the draft, which wasn't very good, but there's a couple of decent matches. Anyway, tonight, Halloween. Last night's video demonetized for some reason. That was a bit of a bummer. Uh, Still waiting to hear back to get monetization for that their video. So anybody that's here right now that's normally here and you haven't said hi, say hi. It's much appreciated. Hey, Alan, have a good rest there. Sorry I came on so late tonight. Yep, I'm still demonetized. Some people do hate on that transfer, and I don't get why. Actually, uh, the dreaded yellow. I cannot get why people are. Because for me, this. Hey there, Ian. Welcome, man. Uh, hey, AEW. This is probably. Hey there, Kemi. Probably one of my favorite like transfers for 4K, and definitely probably one of my favorite horror transfers by far and large. Like I don't have a lot of horror stuff in uh in my collection, but I agree with Jason there that as if you don't have the 4K of Halloween and you got a 4K system, it really is the best that the movie has ever looked. And so good, in fact, that I've seen the movie hundreds of times, and there's still things I found on it. So, trying to get the new steelbook for for Halloween. Ooh, nice. I hope you get it. So, Halloween is probably one of the most beloved franchises of all time, but it's one of the most unusual franchises of all time. Have you ever seen any of the Halloween films, Ian? Because Halloween kind of fights with itself in that it has around 3 to 4 timelines, depending on how you take it. So, Halloween 1 and Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2 done in 1981, that's that's the timeline that skips on to 4, 5, 6. So that's kind of one timeline. Halloween 3 is in a different timeline, actually in a different universe where Halloween is just a movie. So Halloween 7, or I guess Halloween, H2O, goes into its own timeline, which goes on into Resurrection. But then, after that, Then came the Rob Zombie films, which is its own universe. And then there was the Halloween 2018, which is a direct sequel to Halloween 1 and bypasses all the rest of them. So, yeah, that's 3 or 4 timelines that you got to get right there. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure book. Uh, or one of those Steve Jackson things, right? But there's a. And yet, hey there, Dave. Did you read the Fly box set? Oh, nice. Yes, Scream Factory, by the way, if you guys haven't checked it out yet, is having a Shocktober sale. And you know what? For a change, I'm going to say this right now, and I don't say this very often. Uh, it's a good sale. Scream Factory is actually having a good sale. Somebody said that they were a fan of Halloween Resurrection, and you know what? So am I. It's one of those movies that I think people just like to hate on because I don't think it's as bad as anybody thinks. Got 5 titles. Anything? What did you guys get? So if anybody ordered from the Shocktober sale, before I go any further with Halloween, because I was going to mention the Shocktober sale, that was initially what this video was going to be about, but I did like a recently like hidden gems of like Scream Factory, and I thought you guys might be tired of me talking about Scream Factory over the last couple of days. That Halloween Resurrection would be better if it was not a sequel to H2O. See, I think H2O is overrated. Is as overrated, and this is just my opinion now, as Resurrection is underrated. Oh, did the Wreck box set sell out? Hey there, George. Welcome, man. I still got to check your unboxing, by the way. I haven't got to see that yet. I plan to do that tonight, but I spent the day with my better half, where I'm going tomorrow. But I will check it out. This weekend, Apple has a deal on Arrow Video Horrors, $2.99 for each. That's a fantastic deal. I know I'm a physical media guy, and that's 100% true. But I also, just so you know, I do buy some digital media as well, kind of to supplement when I'm going on trips like this. And the last time that Arrow had a sale, I definitely I took advantage of that, and I picked up the original Dark Water, and I picked up Donnie Darko, and I grabbed Reanimator because I already had like a one version of it, and I wanted to get the other one. So I always tend to grab like a couple things in the digital sale, and I always tend to like go afterwards and buy like the physical copies to have them as well. I do like the fact that a lot of the Arrow releases have like the features with them if you buy them from iTunes. So I there's a sweet spot like between like collecting physical media, which is what I do, and being I'm not being completely like shut off to digital to digital media. I tend not to do that, and I did used to be uh, one of those like hardcore like only physical media. This is all, but and I do still physical media is my it's my jam, but like just like putting a hard line against anything digital like in 2020, I can't do that. And there's so many people that are very very big like movie fans and cinema buffs and stuff like that go digital for different reasons, whether it be like they can't afford it, they want like a scope of movie that they couldn't normally get in their price range, or they may live in a small apartment, so they can't you know avail something like this. So I completely understand all the different reasons. I do recommend digital media for your physical media for whenever you can get it, and definitely for your favorite films. People Under the Stairs, Funhouse, Black Christmas, oh nice. Candyman, Trick or Treat. You know what I wanted? What I would have killed for? Now you guys are gonna laugh, um, but there was one thing that like stood out to me in that sale. One thing that I wanted more than anything else. You wanna know what that is? I wanted Summer Party Massacre with the Russ Thorn uh, NECA figure. It had a steelbook. It had Summer Party Massacre on Blu-ray. I've only got the first one on DVD. I got parts 2 and 3 on Blu-ray. but I really wanted that Russ Thorn figure, and and the steelbook that they did, and plus they had a kind of a, I think a poster, and I don't think it was a lithograph. I can't remember. Maybe it was a lithograph. Maybe it was a lithograph, not a poster, because I think it was like it kind of like is banner like, and a lot of their stuff that comes out is definitely banner like. It's amazingly cool. It's so cool that I almost like called my mom and said, hey mom, this is this could be a this could be a good idea for a Christmas present, but it's a little bit too early to ask her for that. The Howling figure Dave looks amazing. It is PVC, but which is basically so it is plastic, but it still is a really good looking figure. Uh, it was a PVC thing that and the price obviously right now, because like next week, like the Friday the 13th box set gets released, and unlike most of you guys that probably got it from Shout Factory, I actually ordered mine from Amazon. So basically, the money for mine is not going to come out uh, until today. And what did you get me, Ragman? No, what you get, man? But and the money's not going to come out till probably Monday or Tuesday. So I had to be very careful. And where I'm traveling right now too. Um, but any other time, like if I would have had the money on me, um, I would have like definitely grabbed the two figures for sure. The one, the Russ Thorn one, and I probably would have grabbed because you guys know I'm a huge fan of Silent Night, Deadly Night, 1 and 2. So I would have grabbed like the figure with the. Hey there, John. Welcome, man. It has been a while. You're live, are you really? Well, kind of a crossover there. I did not plan to go live today, but I hope that the your live thing is going well, man. What franchise do I like more, Friday the 13th or Halloween? Friday the 13th, actually. I find them. It's I love them both. Like, don't get me wrong. The three big franchises: Friday 13th, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm down with all of it. Tell them I said hi, and let them stay over there. Like I don't want to snipe anybody from your chat. You keep your chat going up, dude. Um, it's a big virtual world. It's perfectly fine. Um, I did not plan to be doing this, but I had to do laundry job, and I knew that I felt bad for not doing this one for 31 days of horror. See, for me, like Friday the 13th is the most consistent franchise. Like I love all the Halloween films. Like I love even the bad Halloween films. Like I'm even starting to get like come around to the Rob Zombie ones. I don't like them very much, but I understand why people like them now, as opposed to like this venomous hate that I had for them before, which kind of ridiculous. But they just weren't my. They're not my bag, man. But pretty much every Friday the 13th film, except for probably Freddy versus Jason, which I'm still lukewarm. It's an okay film. I'm lukewarm on it, but like if Freddy versus Jason is the most like iffy film in your franchise, that ain't too bad. Um, because I do think the Paramount 8 are actually really good, are really fun. Even Jason Takes Manhattan, which is kind of like a different one. Um, but even the New Line ones are okay. They do something different. That's I'll give them that. But I don't want to talk too much about Friday because I'm going to be doing obviously once I get the Friday 13 box set. Everybody and their mother has been unboxing the Friday 13 box set, but I'm still going to unbox it on my channel here and talk about like the films of that as well. Jared Padalecki was a good choice. Um, he had name brand recognition. He's actually a good actor. He was kind of a bigger, heftier guy. So Jared Padalecki kind of mirrored me like of Rob from Friday 13th Part 4, in that he kind of wanted like sort of vengeance for his sister. He was a bigger guy. He was somebody that kind of physically could take on, in a way could take on a human Jason character. Angel Heart is one of your favorite films. Actually, I was gifted Angel Heart recently, and yeah, it's fantastic. I haven't got around to watching the Blu-ray yet, but I'm so excited to actually watch it because it's been years since I've seen it. So you got a great taste. See, I can't say it's better than the remake, than better than the original because I recently rewatched the original on at a drive-in with part two. Part two still it still holds up to me, man. But Friday 13th Part One is different than you realize when you go back into it again. It's not a Final Girl movie. It's an ensemble piece. It is sort of a murder mystery, but not really because you don't really have enough clues to actually guess who it is. Um, but it's definitely kind of like Jallo-esque, and that's kind of what I like, what I really appreciate about it. And for the time that it runs, it's pretty briskly paced, and we learn enough about each of the characters, not too much to make them caricatures, which you we would get in later films, but enough to flesh them out enough so that you wince a bit when you see them like getting killed. Still, I think that part three is probably one of the best for making me feel bad for them because nobody in part three deserves to die. That's anyway. I got to get off Friday 13th because we're talking Halloween. But don't worry, I will be doing a Friday 13th centric video. I will be going through the box set. I'll be talking about my favorite Friday 13th. I will rank them in order of which I like them. I'll even probably give you a ranking of my favorite Final Girls. Um, it'll what reality? What do I think the odds of a new Friday are? As soon as they've fixed up the rights issue, what's going on right now, it's a pretty big case when it comes to Friday the 13th. If Victor Miller wins this case here for like intellectual property for a writer, it is a huge deal, and it can really help other writers and creators of content in the future. So it's going to be it's going to be a big it's going to be a big deal. And for that reason, even though I still have issues with like how much Victor Miller created with it within the franchise itself, I do want Victor Miller to win this. Am I going to rank the Halloween films in this video? I never thought about that because my box set's upstairs, but I might actually. Hey there. The biggest mistake. So people versus like put a verse against like Halloween 2, the 1981 one, and Halloween 2018. So for me, both of them get things right and they get things wrong. The most important thing that I think is, and I'm going to go on this one, that was gotten wrong in in Halloween, and the reason I think it was kind of an albatross around its neck throughout the rest of the films was John Carpenter got drunk, had like a bit of writer's block, and decided, hey, let's make Jamie Lee Curtis's character of Laurie Strode Michael Myers' sister, because why not, right? Uh, well, because it it kind of drags the series down. Um, Although we would get a couple good films, like Halloween 4 was really good. Uh, you get the first film, and the whole basis behind the first Halloween film, is basically this mindless, like this senseless evil. There is no reason for his murders. There's no reason for the killing. It's evil, and the scariest thing ever is when there's no reason for it. It's just the boogeyman. That's what it is. Was he the boogeyman? As a matter of fact, I think he was. Um, he's just killing in that film for the sake of killing. Now we come to part two. Now part two does some good things and it does some bad things. And I already showed you what the bad thing was. And the other bad thing is, I'm going to say this right now. Uh, Rick Rosenthal was right. Uh, they should have went with basically making him keeping Michael Myers scary, keeping it suspenseful, uh, keeping him in the shadows. John Carpenter, definitely a genius, but you know what? John Carpenter got scared. John Carpenter looked around at all the other films that were going on at the time. He looked at Friday the 13th. He looked at like stuff like, the Burning wasn't out yet. Unless he looked in the crystal ball, he wouldn't be able to see that one at that point. But he looked at the films and he noticed that there was a body count. He noticed that there was like a lot more blood than Halloween, and he decided to go with the most commercial aspects of it. He would just, instead of keeping his course, he'd alter his course so that it would be up to date with the films that were being made at the time. But Halloween thing was kind of a groundbreaker. It was forging its own path. It didn't need to follow the paths of everybody else. It helped start that path. Hey there, Deck. So to go to course correct on your first sequel and say, you know what, let's just do what everybody else is doing, rather than going forward and doing and keeping the vision that you initially had. For me, that was a mistake. Now that being said, Halloween 2 is a fantastic film. I love Halloween 2, but I probably could have loved it more. Now, as somebody that likes Friday 13th, as somebody that likes a lot of these kind of these exploitation slasher films, yeah, I'm down with Leo Rossi's character. Leo Rossi is an amazing actor. I'm down with that, the voluptuous nurse. I like all that stuff. I'm just saying, like, overall, you hate the Dr. Loomis in the 2018. Well, Dr. Loomis wasn't really in. Oh, you mean the Doctor, kind of the Sartain character? I think he could have went, like, he could have done really well, but that twist was a bit weird. And the thing is, if you're going to do a twist on the Dr. Loomis character, but here's the thing. I don't think it had to be a terrible twist. Uh, I think that they did the twist, and then they second guess themselves, and they automatically erase the twist, like right away. So like, oh look, like what a twist, and and then all of a sudden, it's gone. Um, if you're going to do something like that, if you're going to go out and you're going to like completely turn something on its head, uh, stand by it. Don't 10 seconds later, don't like 30 seconds or 2 minutes down the road, don't just go like, oh, this could make some people uncomfortable. We better get rid of this right away. If you're going to do a twist like that, you got to go all in. You can't go halfway with it. So for that reason, that the twist definitely doesn't work. Why? Because there's no follow up to it. It doesn't need to be there. If they were doing more with it, if there was more on Sartain, if he was a character that survived the films, then yes, uh, definitely go with that. But see, that's the thing. Sartain is not Loomis. Oh yeah, the draft sucked. We watched it. Sartain is not Loomis, and I think that's the thing. He was very much like Loomis. Thank you, Regman. I would actually love to be a film director. The most I've ever gotten to do was direct some stage plays, but but you've got to either take the twist out of it completely, or go in all the way. And there was the same issue when they remade. Actually, it's not which one I like more, 3 or Halloween 2018. I'll come back to that in a second. Um, when they decided to remake like Nightmare on Elm Street, what they did first was kind of like twist it around and say, hey, maybe Freddy Krueger. Maybe the thing is, these parents killed him by mistake. Maybe Freddy Krueger isn't like the child killer, child molester. Maybe he was an innocent victim. You can't put something like that in there, especially in a remake or a reboot, and then go back on it. If you're putting like an idea like that in there, you either got to go all the way through with it, or you got to take that idea out completely, because it's going to confuse people, and not only that, it's going to make people realize like there, it's we get enough fan theories in our heads already. We like how much has Star Wars been messed up because people don't like the movies that are coming out because they have better ideas in their heads. We don't need other like little kind of nuggets of ideas put out there that are dropped or just turned around. It's not a twist in the new Nightmare on Elm Street remake to say, oh look, Freddy's evil. Yeah, we kind of get that. It would have been a little bit more interesting if maybe he initially wasn't. Uh, but you kind of like opened up like a door to going interesting, and then you went in a different direction. See, I think Robert would like to replace Robert. That's the thing. Like, he knows that the Freddy Krueger character is going to go on. He knows that he's made this franchise. Like, he's always, no matter who takes over, or who does what in the future, whether it's like Kevin Bacon or something like that, Robert Englund will always be the Freddy Krueger for those series of films. Nothing's ever going to change that. And no remake or reboot or like new series will ever like lessen or make that any less, because he has already indelibly put a stamp on that series. See, Halloween 3 I love. I'm a Nigel Neal fan. That's just I'll get that out of the way. I'm a Quatermass fan. So that was a big deal for me when I found out that Nigel Neal was going to be writing the script of Halloween 3. Then I was a bit bummed out when I realized he didn't use all of Nigel Neal's work, and they found it even. Well, Halloween 3 ends pretty darkly, but it would have ended even darker, apparently, if they would have used Nigel Neal's script. See, but that's the thing. Whereas Alien and Terminator have been brought down by like lesser sequels or reboots or revamps, and I think Alien has kind of came up a bit. That I don't really think that if you look at like Nightmare on Elm Street, you look at Friday 13th, you look at Halloween, uh, even with like the lesser ones in there, uh, that hasn't like. There's the thing. If your films are iconic enough, uh, they'll stand the test of time. If your franchise is iconic enough, it'll stand the test of time. The problem with Alien and Terminator is after Alien and Aliens, most of the time, uh, you they it really failed badly. So you gotta have that 3 or 4 films like kind of a solid base to like help build the franchise on. You can't puppet master it and do like 3 good films and then like start to go down. I plan to see No Time to Die in the drive-in. uh, I'm going to the theaters anytime in the near future. um, like something with Predator, same thing. You get like one good film, and then you get like a film that I thought was pretty good, but a lot of people didn't like, um, and then it kind of falls off from there. I do apologize if I missed some of the stuff. I've just been trying to get things out. And remember, when it comes to a lot of these franchises, the last film, like like just Anthony just mentioned, the last Predator was disappointing. A lot of times, you're as good as your last movie, unless you've really got that solid base. So you need that like solid base to keep it going on a consistent basis. As for like whether I like the third one or 2018, well, they're kind of like different. Like they're different, like different kettles of fish, to use like a Newfoundland terminology. Because part three is just it's this amazing standalone film that could have started a bunch of standalone films, but it didn't. In the Mouth of Madness could have been a Halloween film. Vampires could have been a Halloween film. I love the trailer for No Time to Die. It looks really good, and I love the song for No Time to Die. I'm a huge fan of Billie Eilish, so that's her and her brother work well together. On the Hocus, I don't know enough about the Hocus sequel yet to really talk about it. I do like the Friday 13th one in my Friday 13th video. I'm gonna try to stay at least a little bit. How about Rob Zombie's Halloween? I have had problematic issues with Rob Zombie's Halloween, but at the end of the day, I think, and I'll be honest, uh, I'm a, I'm probably not the target audience for Rob Zombie's Halloween. That doesn't make it not good. It just means that it's not exactly the film that wasn't made for me. It wasn't targeted towards me. Lords of Salem, Rob Zombie's Lords of Salem, that was targeted towards me. Uh, Rob Zombie's like Devil's Rejects, that was targeted towards me. Hey, Ian, hopefully I didn't put you to sleep, but have a great night there, and it's so nice to have you back in. I don't know who Rob Zombie's second Halloween film was targeted towards, uh, but it definitely was not me. And early on, I knew. Uh, Basically, the cow scene, and there's a scene with at the beginning of it, uh, where he kills Octavia Spencer. Yeah, before she was famous, Octavia Spencer's a nurse in Halloween too, and he just like really. I think it's supposed to be brutal because he's stabbing her like a bunch of times, but in all honesty, it's hilarious. Um, and it kind of set the tone for me. Like, oh yeah, okay, I know what you're going with. It's not working. Um, Watch Halloween without the sound and found it's not scary. Yeah, I mean, like a lot of films, like Friday 13th, Halloween, Exorcist, horror movies are like sound. The soundtrack is extremely important when it comes to them. Like the finale to I like the theatrical cut of Rob Zombie's first Halloween better than the director's cut. I think the director's cut, like we won't get into it, but there's a scene in the director's cut that really, really, really no need for it. Uh, it just like makes you want to take a shower afterwards. Yeah, there's the thing. That's the thing that I couldn't understand, and maybe it's just me, but and it makes sense that I would have an issue with it because I had an issue with Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode. Uh, I would definitely run that drive-in, uh, being the sister. And so to go in it even farther and explain it even more, uh, it kind of takes away the scariness. Now, the guy that they had playing him, Tyler Maine, great guy for the role. They had a lot of really good actors. Rob Zombie's Halloween. Rob Zombie is a guy that I respect for like getting a lot of actors, like kind of like cult actors, and giving them like getting them back on the main screen again. He did that for Sid Haig. Sybil Danning had a role in that one. Malcolm McDowell, and 100% like I think in reality, I would probably get along pretty well with Rob Zombie. But I would be honest with him. So I'm not quite sure. I'll be honest. Yeah, for no reason. We don't want to know that. Well, Scout Compton was great. Unfortunately, it was hard for like Scout Taylor Compton had a hard job when it came to the second one because they just made her so unlikable. And I know what he was going with. And here's another case, like what I said before. Remember when a director, writer, filmmaker has an idea and they don't go with it, they don't go all in. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. If he wanted to do what it's been rumored that he wanted to do, which was pretty much make a Michael Myers less like Halloween film, where Myers is basically in Laurie's head. We don't really know it at the beginning. Laurie's actually doing the killing. Uh, if he would have like went forward with that idea, that would have made sense for everything else that happens in the film. It's kind of set up for that, right down to the ending of the film, no matter which version you watch. Uh, it doesn't make sense for Michael to be having like his basic, like having like these thoughts of his mom and like kill people. It just doesn't work. Uh, And I think the problem is that when he did this stuff, and when he did it in part one as well, is that like somebody just said right there, it's psychology 101, and he's sticking with 101, and you got to go a little. If you're gonna go, if you're gonna go deep, go go deep. Uh, but then again, like I said before, it's not. I may not be the best judge of that film because I was not its target audience. It does not take away like lots and lots of people love both of the Rob Zombie films. I like the first one. I really don't like the second one, and because I don't find the characters likable. But then that's yeah. For me, that was I didn't like it. I found it. I found the characters a bit more off putting. Okay, 4 and 5 and 6. We'll get into the Thorn trilogy because there's another time. My favorite character for the Halloween series, Loomis. Loomis gets all the good lines. Um, you know, I've been trick or treated to death tonight. You don't know what death is. Uh, it's fantastic, and obviously, look at me. I would love to play the Loomis character. Uh, Rachel was a missed opportunity. The character Rachel in number 4 was a really good replacement for Jamie Lee Curtis. It was great to have Danielle Harris in there to have follow on through, and they could have done something really different. They could have had two like sisters, like going on throughout the series with the two characters too. It kind of upped the ante. You don't know, are they going to make it? Is one of them, is Danielle Harris' character, is she going to eventually turn evil like Michael? Uh, will one of them get killed um, down the road? But getting rid of Rachel at the beginning of part 5 was an amazingly stupid idea, and it had to do with money. They just didn't. They wanted to just kind of really pay her scale. And she'd done part 4, and she'd anchored it really really well along with Daniel Harris, and she deserved to get more than that. So what did they do? They got a replacement. So they suddenly gave gave us Tina, and I can't blame Tina for being like an annoying character because that's what the actress was given. That's kind of what she had to do. It's a thankless role. Can you imagine if like after part 5, if they said, okay, rather than Tommy Jarvis, let's do uh, let's do Jim Bob. You know, that's and all of a sudden we just don't hear about Tommy Jarvis. They just kill Tommy Jarvis off in the first 5 seconds of Friday 13th 6. Fans would riot. Um, and we had this happen. Like they cut off. They got like producers. They got greedy. They thought they didn't need to keep around any of the leads. They got rid of Rachel, and at the beginning of part 5, they recasted and got rid of Danielle Harris's character at the beginning of part 6 by bringing in poor J.C. Brandy, who had a very thankless role, and she got a lot of hate for it, but it wasn't her fault. Am I planning to upgrade? I don't think 8K is ever going to be a thing in reality. Uh, if it is, it'll be like far in the future. I think 8K is going to be mostly relegated to video gaming and like streaming. That's where I think the future of 8K is going to go. In that, like, because streaming websites that stream 4K, you're not getting actual 4K. That's not actual real 4K. When you're like online, like Netflix 4K, it's a close proximity, but it's doesn't cut the mustard. Same with the audio, but with that, if you upgrade the capacity to 8K, then the streaming services can upgrade their capacity to eventually go to have actual legitimate 4K streaming. So that's where I think they're going to go with it. That's just my personal opinion. I could be wrong. I often am. Five to the mask. No, see, that's where I got to disagree. Dan, it's like, see, part 5 is where the mask, like the mask. I don't have too much problems with the mask in part 5. The mask in part 4 I have like a bit more problem with. There's some issues with the mask in part four. There's that hilarious scene where the mask like hair color's white. There's the mask is okay, but when you watch part four and you see like like the if you've ever seen like the poster for part four and it's got this like really cool looking mask that's not in the movie. Uh, the mask in part four is a bit of a letdown, unfortunately. I actually like the mask in part five a little bit better. Part six had a great mask. That I really like the mask in part six. And I let's not get into the masks in part in Halloween H2O because those are like a cluster. You know, it's the masks in part in H2O are pretty bad. I do like the one in part eight actually, Resurrection. I like the angular portion of it where they bring it back to making the mask have more kind of more structure and more of an angular look, which is kind of closer to what you see in the original. There's a lot of things wrong with that film. That wasn't one of them. Dudes watching like the movie on watching like a film. That was kind of thought the sheriff's daughter in part four is good. She was actually, and they killed her off. I guess I understand like why they killed her off. She's like the, like she's the desperate housewife's. What's the name of the character? The blonde-haired girl, of that film. Like she's the, I guess she's supposed to be like she's so in. I guess according to the film, she's like the, the looser character. Cops do it, but 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 no, she was what was her name? Kathleen. She was in that series with Lorenzo Lamas. Gorgeous girl, like stunning lady, and like statuesque, but and she's so good in the role that she does. So she could have been like this kind of this just one dimensional character, renegade. Thank you. She was a renegade. Uh, she could have been this like one dimensional character that would have just been, But there's the thing. She wasn't. She was a fun character. She was someone that you don't completely hate. She wasn't like she was scoping it and like just like sniping Rachel's like boyfriend. Uh, there was issues. He was a grown guy and he went there on his own, and you can't blame him totally. Uh, but everybody there has kind of almost a moment of like where they're fleshed out a bit more, where they don't seem like a caricature. What I think I thought the Thorn cult was actually a decent idea. I don't think that it played out in the way that it really should have. In my opinion, the Thorn cult should have been something that was put in there, as in like people, and the way that I always took it, and the thing that I really like about the Thorn cult is that I always took it as a cult that thought they could control Michael Myers, but in actuality, they don't. Like they can't. Like they it's like you get those guys that are we're getting into it, but there's like certain people that are into like that think I'm not gonna get this right now. I'm totally not gonna get it right. But like but basically they think they control something that they don't. Should have ended with Loomis sacrificed himself. Well, I guess at the time they didn't know Loomis was going to pass away. He was, of course, he was sick at the time, and unfortunately, he wasn't treated well by the director, Joe Chappelle. You guys know I don't like Joe Chappelle. Primarily because of the way that he treated the actors on Part Six. That was really bothersome to me. Um, there was no reasoning behind like the way that he acted. No, everybody's got their own. That's the thing. That's why there's so many cool. That's the neat thing about the Halloween franchise is, Craig, is that there's so many different ways that you can go and so many different timelines. That if you don't like one timeline, there's another timeline you can like. It doesn't make it like wrong or you're or any less of a fan. It just means that those are the ones that resonate with you, and that's one of the brilliance about that about the film. I think they would have. I mean, I think that when it comes to it, Donald Pleasance would have definitely been like there until he couldn't be. He did an amazing job with the films. Uh, I want to see if I missed some comments here. I do apologize. One of my favorite like sequences in any of the Halloween films, in the later sequence in 4, 5, and 6, and this is one that I really gotta get out there because it's something that kind of really means a lot to me. Um, in the first Halloween film, uh, you get like you basically when when Dr. Loomis talks to the sheriff, and the sheriff says, "Well, maybe we should let people know to be on the lookout for Myers," and he says, he says, "No, you can't do that because you'll see him in every bush, they'll see him in every window. Uh, it'll cause a panic." And we do see in part two when Loomis finally does panic, it causes the death of Ben Tramer. So we get to part four, and all of a sudden, oh, I would love I like the trick idea, Amy. Um, that happens. They do find out. They go to the thing. They panic, and it causes again by getting this like mob in there. It causes the death of an innocent man because they get there and they see something in the bushes and they just start shooting. So I love the fact that Dwight Little brings back that aspect of the film from part one of Donald Pleasance's speech, where he talks about, well, you'll see them in every bush, you'll see them around every corner. Um, Basically they'll panic, and that plays through when we get to part four. That happens. Actually, that's not really an unpopular opinion anymore, Jason. More and more, a lot of people are really starting to fall in love with part two, and finding it up there with the original film. That's actually becoming more of like kind of a normative opinion. I love the movie Trick, by the way. So if you haven't seen it, I actually do recommend it, and I've watched it a couple times. Pleasance would have been more of an anchor than Laurie character, and he was actually, Dave, for like a long time. Obviously, like Jamie McCurse went on to do other things. What's my go-to for Halloween? A lot of times it's one of the Halloween films. I just don't like kind of talk about them on here. Oh, Daisuke is doing the stream for Live and Let Die tomorrow. I'll definitely check that out, guys. I won't be able to. I'll be on a boat with no internet. So, but if you're Daisuke does really cool streams, and and he's doing the James Bondian stuff. So definitely check that out. About New York City. No, I'm not getting on the Lazarus. Uh, how could I? How could I get on a boat? Well, that's the only way to see my family. That's it. Isn't it weird how like Crystal Lake, like all of a sudden you can get on a boat on Crystal Lake and you're like, of course we're going out to the ocean. Okay, uh, that's the thing. Head explosion part six. That's in the director's cut of part six. There's because there's like the director's and producer's cut. I actually like the producer's cut more, but I like the director's cut head explosion. I think that the writer Daniel Farron wrote like 13 endings or so with that film at least. I haven't got to 2018 yet. Actually, I kind of mentioned it early, but I haven't really got into it. But I guess that's the next place to go, isn't it? Because we talked about pretty much all of them. And I'm going back and forth from film to film, and I know I'm not kind of following in a linear fashion, but just like me, uh, I don't do things in linear fashion. Not yet, Jason. I ordered mine from Amazon, so mine will probably be shipped out on the 13th. I'll probably have it, hopefully, inshallah, when I get back from my trip, and I will unbox it, and I will try to do an unboxing different than everybody else has done unboxing. But I've seen some really good unboxings for it. I think Brian's was the first one I watched. Brian Sowers from Just a Disc. It's a fun film. I like the 2018 one. One, it course corrects the mistake of having Laurie Strode be his sister. And I think, like you said, you're having Laurie Strode fatigue, but I think that this kind of like helps that. Oh yeah, Scream Factory. Oh, I mentioned that at the beginning of it. Scream Factory in the Shocktober sale. I'm going to be talking about that a little bit more after the Halloween portion of this video. It's a bit of a mixed bag, but I think that overall one, we got a really good actor for the role of Michael, and hopefully that I'm pretty sure he's coming back again. Um, Thank you. Hopefully it'll be a quality video. Um, I looking forward to. I look forward to Laurie Strode basically doing this, the whole like post traumatic stress disorder (PTSD). I like that aspect of it. And people are like, well, only really when in actuality she only saw like a couple people get killed. Then Michael was, was there. But yeah, she was supposed to be 16 years old when the film was made, and those are her two best friends. So it's not that 10 or 12 or 13 people or a whole hospital full of people got killed. It's that at the age of 16, at one of the most impressionable ages in your life, the two most important people to her that aren't her family, that aren't her mom and dad, and are probably at that age kind of more important to her, are killed by a faceless man, uh, which causes like the road that she ends up going down in 2018's Halloween. It makes sense. See, I can't agree. I like I didn't find it more believable in the H2O1. In the H2O1, I found, and this is the thing that did kind of like, I'm a big Dawson's Creek fan, I like Scream and all that type of stuff, but yeah, sometimes some of the dialogue doesn't come off as people talking the dialogue. Hey, Cropsy, welcome, man. It's been a long time, dude. It comes off as like Dawson dialogue, which is like, nobody talks like this, but it sounds clever. And that was one of my issues with H2O. That and the fact that they kind of leaned in way too much with some of the characters without like really kind of. They made a lot of more characters. That and I may be the only person, but and I can say this, then I can be honest with you. When I watched H2O, uh, and it came to the ending, I'm like, okay, so Michael Myers wasn't the mask, and like some of my friends are like, what do you mean? Of course he was. He was beheaded. I'm like, no, he wasn't. Did you see the way that he acted before he got beheaded? I'm a huge fan of Riverdale, actually. I relate to Jughead. That's me. That was me in high school. I'm weird. I'm weird. Uh, uh, like you can tell. Like go back and watch it now. You can tell right. Like even if you hadn't seen like Resurrection, and you go back, you at the end of the film when he's trying to take the mask off, the way that he's not acting like Michael Myers, and I guess people were so excited to see H2O and see Jamie Lee Curtis back uh, that they kind of didn't like. They kind of got overwhelmed with that and kind of the missed the forest for the trees. But yeah, it's pretty obvious that it's not Michael Myers. That and it's Mustafa Khan, man. He has said in many interviews that he would continue to do like Halloween films, and he would never do a film in which Michael Myers is killed off definitively. There's always a way to bring back Michael Myers, and that was his go-to. Every interview that he was in, he said like, I will always have Michael Myers, even if he doesn't come back again. I'll never let him die out. He does. He actually does. He looks up. He acts completely on Michael Myers. Like he doesn't talk. He looks very shocked. He reaches his hand out. It's not. This is not the thing of like Michael Myers like being clever. Like, oh look, I think I'm going to trick my sister. No, that doesn't happen to Resurrection when he does it does it again, because she's already gotten through the post traumatic stress disorder from the film before. Murder Place Halloween 3, pretty high in the rankings actually. Um, like in my opinion, like just go back and watch it. Like it doesn't seem uh, it doesn't seem like Myers at all. Like I was in the theater watching this film, and I'm like, that's not Michael Myers. And you know what? It did turn out to be right. And it wasn't something that they retconned afterwards, by the way, because some people thought that okay, they thought about this after. They didn't. No, they had it planned all along. Jamie Lee Curtis wasn't too pleased about it, but they had it planned all along for him to be for him not to be Michael Myers. That was always the that was always the plan. That's why he acts differently during the when he wakes up. That's why he doesn't talk. That's why you get the larynx crush. Actually, I like Rush. My cousin's a huge fan of Rush. One, two, four, five, and six will always be your favorite timeline. Hate Street's your favorite. Nice. Oh, there is. There's something fun to find in every one of these. But I like what they did with 2018 more, and I'll pretty much say I like that. Like Dennis just mentioned, one of the things I was going to mention. I like the force of nature, the aggressiveness of Myers. He is a killer that has been cooped up for a very very long time, and he's been patiently waiting. But now he's ready to get things out. Uh, he doesn't go after Lori because she's his sister or anything like that. It's pretty much just happenstance. Um, we get like a much more kind of like grounded Lori character. Hear that? But not only that, this is the cool thing. This is the thing that I'm going to say right now. Uh, you get you get more you get more grounded characters. You get kind of like Lori's PTSD makes sense. Um, Lori just hiding out in a girls in a co-ed school, um, and her PTSD is pretty much like the fact she's an alcoholic, which is also taken over in the 2018 one. It's just that 2018 one fleshes it out more. In the 2018 one, Laurie's character is so damaged that she almost can't work within regular society. She's literally like the head of school in in H2O. But that's the thing. Everybody's got their own opinion. Everybody's got their own like take on it. Just because I like things a certain way, and I like a certain film more than another one, doesn't make my opinion more right than anybody else's opinion. It just makes it my opinion. Um, and Halloween is a fantastic franchise for that, because the honest truth of it is, if you don't like this one or you don't like that timeline, that's fine. There's another timeline, and I'm sure after David Gordon Green's films are all done, they'll probably reboot it again and do another timeline there. One of my favorite scenes is in H2O though, and that's the sequence where he's kind of coming down. When he's bringing himself down with one hand. That was cool. But 2018 had a much more vicious Myers. I was a little bit the only thing one of the things that I was a bit iffy on was like, let's make Myers older, because unless they're gonna go like supernatural, that sets that means there's going to be a reboot at some point. Like that's the thing. There's gonna have to be a reboot, because you're not gonna have like Michael Myers in his wheelchair, you know. Because at the point when it's 75-year-old Michael Myers going after somebody, then then it's like in Scooby territory. I would have gotten away with it too. It wasn't for you meddling kids. Oh, by the way, watch the new Scooby cartoon. Uh, Not Scoob, the Halloween one that recently came out. Really good. Uh, yeah, like he is, like he's what? He's like 61 years old. Uh, and that was the only thing that was kind of iffy on. Let me check my clothes. You heard it buzz there. I'll be right back because I need this for tomorrow. I cannot go on a boat with no clothes because I'll be walking around for a week naked. Not good. Nobody needs to see that. I'll be right back. So I have now dried my clothes like at least 3 times, and you know what? It's still really damp. It's not drying. There's something definitely wrong with my dryer. Oh, Cameron's Closet. I remember that film. What's my favorite bad movie of all time? Movie so bad that I like it. Um, it's probably going to be Nail Gun Massacre. I'll go back and forth between Things and Nail Gun Massacre, but probably Nail Gun Massacre. Hey there, Scholar. Would Scooby the gang survive an encounter with Michael, Jason, and Freddy? Yeah, they're Scooby. I did check the link catcher. I actually just took it out. Good suggestion though. But it's still not going. So I just took some clothes out, just to see if like that can make a difference. But I'm a little bit concerned. If LL Cool J had a clause not to kill it off. Um, I'm not sure. Like I like that fact actually. Busta Rhymes doesn't get killed off either in the next film. Got to keep those rappers alive. And I gotta be honest, like people, you're gonna hate me for this, but I like Busta's character. He was probably the most entertaining thing about Resurrection, like by far and large. Any bold prediction for the next two Halloween movies? Jamie Lee Curtis character will die. It's not a bold prediction. Uh, so will Michael. That's what I think. We're gonna see a Michael on the run in the next film. The first movie is Michael like slaughtering pretty much like anybody that he could come across. Am I concerned about the supposed errors on the Friday 13 box set? Not at all. I saw like what they are, then I laughed a bit and, and realized, So apparently, so for those that don't know, there was a couple errors in the Friday 13 box set, as in like they had mono audio on the theatrical version of Friday the 13th, but not a 5.1 mix. Uh, that's apparently that's a bit that was a bad thing. And on the 3D one, there was a error in the not in the 3D. No, 3D is fantastic, but like in the credit sequence. So yeah, not I think like in one there's a scene missing from one. Uh, oh, the kid was so fun, but you can't bring the kid. You can kind of bring. I'm not sure you can bring the kid back because yeah, he was so good with that girl. That's one of the things I like. Those characters were so fleshed out. Tina Buck Rogers said, I do want to pick that up. I'm not quite sure EW. I don't have the set yet. But like for most of the stuff that they were mentioned, and I'm not, I hate to say it this way, but they seemed like Blu-ray.com like complaints. For people that know the forum, uh, Blu-ray.com, which yeah, they get extremely nitpicky. Uh, so I was saying, I see. I gotta just. I don't think he ruined the scene when Vicky was being attacked. I think he was like, we like Vicky and we hate to see Vicky killed, and because of him, because we've got to see her character fleshed out through his character, with the kind of the way they play off each other. They play off each other naturally. They're fun, and they're likable, and they work together. And she seems like his babysitter. Like in a lot of films, like the kids in the background, we don't really get to find out a lot about the kid. Uh, but in this one, like the kid makes sense. The kid actually fleshes out the character of the babysitter too. So when the babysitter gets killed off, she's not just the friend. We've learned more about her. Hey, the dad, I can understand that. See, for me, the kid added to the tension. We don't agree on these ones. That's okay though. Especially due to the fact that earlier on in the film, we saw that Michael kills kids. So when Vicky's is attacked and killed, there's still a good chance. Like, doesn't matter if he's gone or if he's run or what. Michael kills kids. No one's safe. Thank you, reality. Hope that's good. Hope that you don't get in trouble for it. What I consider funny games of horror, I definitely would consider funny games a horror movie. Uh, Very much so. I actually like that film. I like both versions of that film actually. My better half is probably going to be getting those 4K Lord of the Rings, and saw even the Hobbit ones. Yeah, I can't fault the Laurie Tommy stuff, or Scout Taylor Compton in the first Rob Zombie Halloween film. I think she was a good choice. No, no, you had to kill a kid. We had to establish uh, early on what how one you had to establish no one's off the table when it comes to Myers at this point. Like I do still plan to move to Morocco, and hopefully it'll be next year, uh, so that I can actually start teaching film and working on this here will be more of a full time endeavor along with the podcast. So that's when you're definitely going to see me pimping my Patreon channel because this is going to become more of a serious love and job for me at the same time. Did I ever watch a show in the early called Odyssey 5? Actually, I did watch Odyssey 5. I think that's the thing. I mean, like we had to get to that point where we don't know because we've seen him kill a kid, so we don't know. And then he gets to the baby, and we're like, "Oh my God, is he going to kill this kid?" He doesn't. But this Michael is brought back to like the original Michael. He is evil. He is a killer. There is no reasoning, and when there's no reasoning, when there's no motive, uh, then when it's just evil, then we take out the option of being somebody that you can talk him down, that can be reasoned with. Exactly, no morality. Like Hollow Man said, what happens when you don't? What are you like when you don't have to look yourself in the mirror? Baby really can't tell anyone. There's the thing. Your girlfriend's smart. Because I never really thought of it that way, but that actually is a really good way to think of it. Well, he doesn't kill kids in the first film, Cropsey. He not really. We see him like he scares kids in the first film. He seems to be like have a fondness for Tommy Doyle's character. And somebody mentioned the Paul Rudd character, which I really did like, by the way. I wish he would have done more with that character. Uh, but uh, but I think that definitely like that was that it was, as a matter of fact, I think it was. Oh, they're still in high school. Like yeah, so yeah, like they're teenagers. So yeah, but when it comes to like the in the 2018, he literally kills a little kid. Um, and it was actually kind of well done. The one thing, one of my biggest faults on the for 2018 film is I really became invested with the character, like the deputy or sheriff, whatever he was. Really liked his character, and did not like to see what happened to his character. I thought that there could have been more, that the character could have been followed up on. Well, if atmosphere is your thing, Amy, then definitely the first one is going to be the best one to go with. Artificial Pumpkins is carved to kind of look like the Halloween credit scene pumpkin. That's nice. He was wasted. That's the one spot that we agree on. EW. I definitely think it was that he was wasted in the film. That but hopefully they'll put more. Kathleen Kinmont. That's the name I was trying to remember earlier on in Cropsey, actually. Sheriff Brackett would have been good to bring back earlier on, actually. I'm expecting this. I'm expecting to see Ben Tramer in the next film. I'm going out there. I'm saying it. Since Ben Tramer didn't die in part two, justice for Ben Tramer. Let's bring Ben Tramer back. It was always such a cheat in part two when Sheriff Brackett like his daughter dies, and they're like, and he's like, well, I guess I better go off now and cry a lot. I guess I better go off. No, your job is law enforcement. Like something horrible has happened. You want revenge. You want to do something. Yes, you're in shock, but you're not going to be like, you go get the killer that killed my I know maybe some people, but I don't want to have anything to do with that. Like no, that guy, I got my gun. This person just killed my daughter. You're gonna over 9,000 Blu-rays. It's getting close there. Um, to if not there yet, it's definitely getting close. Just for Ben Tramer. Hashtag. I like that. But those are my thoughts on the Halloween franchise, Halloween series. That's my jumbled as they may be. Hopefully, you guys find those interesting. Other thing that I did want to mention here, which I mentioned at the beginning of this video, is Scream Factory has the best sale that they've had in years. I'm not even joking. They actually got a really good sale. The Shocktober sale is really good this year, and we've seen some pretty not very good Shocktober sales in the last few years. Who's the most one-off character they could bring back? Uh, Olani's going to be brought back. That's for sure. That's why the see that. Remember the boyfriend character that literally had pretty much nothing to do in this film. He wasn't like just put in to have nothing to do in this film. He was put in to have like something bigger to do in the next film, and also so that they can introduce Lonnie, who is of course in the first film when Donald Pleasance is like get your ass away from Lonnie. So that's that Lonnie. The boyfriend couldn't have got it basically because I think there's bigger plans for that boyfriend. I don't think his character is going to be as one off as we think, or as one note as we think. I could be wrong, but I think that he had bigger plans for him, and they could not have fit everything in this one. They planned this to be like a 2 or 3 picture film, but I'm guessing they like kept it pretty close to their chest to see how it was done. Do I think Danielle Harris is beautiful? That goes without saying, man. Danielle Harris is gorgeous. She's a stunning. She's stunning. The Blob, Motel Hell, Captain Cronus, and Black Christmas today. I would love to have gotten Black Christmas actually. Uh, Good job, by the way. Oh, Craig, I'm going tomorrow, but I'll send you a message later on, either tonight or tomorrow, depending on how tired I'm after this. Uh, Thank you for picking that up for me, and then once I get back, I'll be able to PayPal you the money, and we'll work on getting the shivers, and I'll unbox it if you don't mind on here, and give you credit for it. See, I don't think Lion's a waste of time. It's like there's so many throwbacks to the original films. Uh, Paul, yeah, Paul was a character that that I really like. Uh, like it's that because you never see him, but he's like he's mentioned throughout the film. She even like sings a little Paul song. Uh, she's the one character that would come back. Well, not character, the actress kind of would come back for Halloween 3. She plays the wife, the ex-wife of Tom Atkins' character in the third Halloween film. They just have her done up to look a bit older. Annie's death is the one that scares me the most in the original Halloween. That always scared me when I was a kid in the car. Uh, it seemed like a very realistic death sequence, and the fact that they kind of like go ahead and show you like what to watch for. Yeah, that got to me. This rate, guys, I gotta put like one piece of clothes in at a time. Oh, the breath sequences, like that is still one of my favorite scenes in Halloween altogether. The TV cut is different. I mean, like same like remember when Part Two came out, the TV cut for Part Two. Uh, yeah, they're their own beasts. I don't think you're ever gonna have anybody that's gonna say the TV cut of Part One and Two is superior. See, I don't want one. I don't think they should have a backstory for Michael Myers. Two, I don't. I also don't think that we should know, like, it should never be out and out like said that Mars is supernatural. What they're doing right now for me is what they should do. Divorce him from any other characters in the films. Uh, make his make him make his motives completely unknown, and don't let us know one way or another if Michael Myers is like whether he has some type of ability to like Jason Escobar or anything like that. Just keep it very much like in like Michael Myers, keeping it the motives and any abilities he might have in the shadows. No, not ending the two. Is that the one where they have like that extra part with Lance Guest character and like, hey, I'm okay. Um, Maybe it's a midichlorian. There you go. Can you imagine getting into that? Would have stopped Michael if it wasn't for those damn midichlorians. Yeah, in the back of the ambulance. It's really cheesy. The back to much better back to the ambulance scene in New Year's Evil, by the way. Check that one out. I do love New Year's Evil. That is it's a fun film. See, I had planned not to really talk about Halloween during the month Halloween. It was going to be like something I was going to pride myself not doing what everybody else did. But doing it like this, um, I thought was a good way to actually talk about it without actually just doing a straightforward review. And if you've noticed that this year for my 31 Days of Horror, I'm trying not to do straightforward like movie reviews. I'm still watching the movies. I'm still doing my 31 Days of Horror, but I'm trying to give you guys more of like a way to actually things we can talk about and kind of like flesh it out like that. So hopefully you guys are liking that. I know it's not the traditional way to do the 31 days horror like most. Well, like we'll just go on a film, or and I'm just where I do have more of a live format. I am actually trying to hopefully, like I tell you guys, I always try to push the boundaries of what I can do on here, and make it just a little bit different. You want to close your eyes in the hot tub scene? I can't close my eyes in the hot tub scene because we got that nurse. um, the backstory works. Yeah, it works for Friday 13th. Like because it's there. It's there from the beginning. Like here's the thing. Michael kills at the beginning of Halloween, and we don't know why. We're not supposed to know why. Well, hopefully, Dave is what works for you, because that's what I'm trying to do. Um, but in Friday the 13th, like we really don't meet Jason, like really, like until the second film. So we have a backstory already established. And like same with Freddy, we like there's a backstory. Thank you. There's a backstory for Freddy. It's the lack of backstory for Michael that makes him scary, in my opinion, anyway. But there you go. Same the boyfriend of Halloween, who I think gets killed in the kitchen. Oh, you mean with the longest, with the strongest knife that ever existed? Um, what's his name, guys? What is the name of the boyfriend? And because we know it's not Paul, it's I know it was initially supposed to be Bob. Thank you, Dennis. Bob. Yeah. Yeah. So the kill is really cool and effective and looks amazing. It makes no sense, but it's an amazing looking kill. No, Paul we never meet Craig because Paul is the one that Annie's gonna go pretty much pick up, but Michael kills her ahead of time. And there you go, Amy. I can't get your ghost, Bob. Do you see anything you like? Come on, Bob. Where's my beer? Yeah, Bob gets pinned to the door off the ground. Well, the Nightmare remake story, like I mentioned earlier on, like would had to go all in to work, and it doesn't go all in, so it can't work. Freddy versus Jason. Uh, Freddy works, but Jason doesn't. Um, the the second that Jason walks and stops because there's water dripping down, I was like, yeah, no, nope, no, hell no, no way. I just Rip Beer goes out for my Lindsay goes out. Yeah, this is a pretty weird thing to say, isn't it? Initially, one of these times I will go over because it has been a while. I'll go through the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise as well. I had planned to do like a top ranking, like a ranking of the Halloween films tonight, but I don't know if I really got the ability to do that right now. I know which one's my least favorite. Like I'm not gonna add the Rob Zombie films in the ranking. Those because those are gonna be like my least favorites. Like that's just me, and I don't think it's fair. I know we have a lot of fans of Rob Zombie's movies, and me just saying, oh, I don't like Rob Zombie's movies, and I always just rank them last. Uh, so let's rank the Halloween films within the initial franchise. We'll do it like that. So in last place, and it's going to come as no surprise. Hey there, Dustin. To any of you guys, is well, I'm about to rank the Halloween films. Dustin. Except for the Rob Zombie ones, because they're in their own kind of universe, and it's not fair to rank them and like to go because I'd put them at the lowest end of it, and it's not fair for fans of the Rob Zombie films, which I'm hoping to become. I'm really trying. Um, but in last place, and this is going to shock some people, is H2O. H2O goes in the in last place for me for the films. I do enjoy. Like, here's the thing: I enjoy all the Halloween films, but if I'm gonna rank them and I gotta put them in order, something's gotta go last. After H2O, then I'm gonna put Halloween 5 in next place, and then Halloween Resurrection, uh, Halloween 4, Dwight Little did an amazing job in Halloween 4. This is hard. Halloween 2, Halloween 3, and Halloween. That's my ranking for this time. Now, it changes. Uh, a lot of times, Halloween 2 actually beats out Halloween for me in the ranking in the top spot. Uh, Halloween 3 has been in my top spot ranking before. Uh, but as of right now, like thinking on it, like as over the last 86 minutes we've talked about the franchise and the series, uh, that's uh, that's my that's my ranking based on what we talked about. And I didn't put the 2018 one in there. I guess I forgot that one. Uh, but it would probably, although I do like it, I think it's like a really good film. It probably would go just under 4. As the like I do like the 2018 one, but I don't like the Jamie Lee Curtis as a sister twist, but I do find that as a film, entertaining wise, just for me personally, the original Halloween 2 is I'm streaming late actually. I'm doing laundry, Warlock, but my dryer is not working, and I've got clothes that I got to do, and they're not drying. Like, there's a lot of problems with Halloween with the 1981 Halloween 2, but it's still a very entertaining film. Yes, please hit that like button. It helps my channel a hell of a lot, and I will sometimes be putting on here um, little like if I'm talking about a film and I think it's a really cool one, or if I think a film's got a really good deal, will sometimes put that down in as a link in the description, and that helps at the channel too. And you get a movie and it doesn't cost any more. When am I traveling? Am I going? I'm definitely gonna have to take a nap. That's kind of what I'm hoping to do right now. Is to pretty much be ready to crash. Your set arrived today. I'm jealous, Warlock. I'm super jealous. My set's not even gonna be sent out until the 13th. Thank you for hitting the like button. I really appreciate it. Warlock, did you get any of that Shocktober stuff? Because Scream Factory had an amazing sale. Have a great evening, Georgia. I hope to talk to you again soon, and I will be checking out that unboxing video probably tomorrow now, because it's getting late there. But I will check it out soon. You got some goodies. What did you pick up, Dustin? Uh, Makes it way bigger order than you should have. I haven't seen Shadow People. I don't think I have seen Shadow People. I'll check it out though. For those people that are in Canada, Unobstructed View is going to have a Arrow video sale coming up in the near future, and it's going to be up to 70% off some Arrow titles. So keep an eye out for that as well. So for my people here on this, the Canadian side of it, Omen Collection, excellent choice. The Blob, Valentine, yes, and Hell Knight. Hell Knight's amazing. Oh, Reality, have a great night there. Thank you so much for coming in, by the way. I always enjoy the chats. But the Arrow 12 Monkeys, good film. Did you ever watch the TV series? It's actually not bad. Oh my god, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. It's worth checking out. I really would check it out for you. It's not the film. Like, don't expect it to be the film. Graveyard Shift is your main focus. Is still available. Let's tell you what. Let's look. I'm going to go out of the chat for a second. I'm going to open up the Scream Factory sale. Let's see what's going on. Let's check it out. All right. Guess you ever get annoyed like that? You got to go to a link to get to that Scream Factory sale, and when you go onto the actual Scream Factory website, it's really hard to find the sale. That annoyed the hell out of me, man. I was hoping to got something because I wanted to get a lithograph or a poster. So let's see. So I'm going to go through the titles. You want to do this? Do you guys mind? We'll go through the titles. I'll recommend some as we go through. And if I miss a comment, I do apologize. But I'll check afterwards because I didn't bring down my iPad tonight. And I'll go by like price wise. 10 minutes, fantastic film. Um, I wouldn't say it's at the best price point right now. The Babadook LGBTQ Pride Edition. Hell yes, I would love to have that. Um, and I love the whole like story behind how the Babadook became like an LGBTQ like mascot. That's hilarious. Um, the Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon is an excellent film. If the poster's there, definitely that's a good price. But if it's not, then I would wait on it. Black Christmas at 110%. Had to say, Black Christmas. I love this film, and I do need this edition. Bubba Hotep is a great edition as well. Don Coscarelli, you can't go wrong with Coscarelli. The Burning, if you don't have it, definitely grab it. And it was an earlier film put up by Scream Factory as well. Candyman. Candyman's a cheap one to get anyway. Not when you initially have to get through the sale. The Craft is okay. It's not a new print, but there are some decent features on it, and I have that one. Cyborg is really fun. I gotta say, I do like Cyborg. Darkman is pretty cool as well. Let me know what you think of Black Christmas, Chemic, because I really hope you love it. Down the Dead, the Zack Snyder one, I think it's a lot of fun. Again, that's at 12.50. There's a great price for that one. Day of the Dead has a feature-length documentary. That's only $10. Dead Ringers, I would love to own. That's one of the Cronenberg films that I don't have. Death Becomes There's fun. If you're looking into the Hammer films, there's some of the Hammer ones here. Dracula Prince of Darkness is here. Drag Me to Hell is okay. I'm not a big fan. I know, sacrilege. The Paul Nashi collections are definitely worth grabbing, especially at $30 each. You get 5 films in each one of those there. You get like some decent features. Exorcist 2 is still too pricey for Exorcist 2 for me. That would have to be like $12.50. Extras 3, $14, damn good price. Firestarter, a really great price for Firestarter. The Fog, again, it's a classic. I love the steelbooks here. Forbidden World at $12.50 for the steelbook edition. That's a really fun Corman film. Frankenstein Created Woman, again, $15 is a great price for a Hammer film from Scream Factory. Funhouse is a really cool one. Green Inferno, I'm not big into, but if you like that type of stuff, because that one actually comes with a CD, I think like a music CD. Which would be the one like intriguing thing for me with that, because Scream Factory doesn't normally do CDs. Hell Knight. If you don't have Hell Knight in your collection, it is a slasher film that belongs in absolutely every single, like, even if you're remotely slightly slasher fan, you need it. House on Haunted Hill. I think that the Dark Castle films deserve like a look back into. In the Mouth of Madness is one of my favorites. It's Alive trilogy. It's 1997. If you don't have the It's Alive trilogy, you no longer have an excuse not to have it. It's a really, really cool set. I definitely recommend that. Larry Cohen is passed on now. He was a genius like writer and filmmaker, and it's a really fun trilogy. Land of the Dead again, another director that's passed on is George Romero, and I do like Land of the Dead. I think it's like the last really great Dead film. Lawnmower Man, it's okay. Life Force Steelbook. If you don't have Life Force and the Steelbook of Life Force with Mathilda May, hey, of course. Misery was a great addition. Motel Hell for $10. My God, if you don't have Motel Hell, definitely grab Motel Hell. Night the Comet is one too for $10. It's got like 3 or 4 commentaries on too, which actually is really good. Night the Creeps. I didn't know they had Night the Creeps actually. So yeah, wow. Night the Demons. Yes. Steelbook edition of that one. If you don't own Night the Demons for a steelbook, incredible. The Paul Naschy collections. Yes, there's only 2 in the Paul Naschy series. I'm not sure if they're ever going to put it anymore, but if they do, now is a great time to grab 2 of them for the price of one. And they do have like a nice range. It's not just a Paul Naschy werewolf film. It's not just a Paul Naschy zombie or monster film. There's Paul Naschy giallos in there as well. So if you're a giallo fan, you want to check just some Spanish giallo and some different type of stuff. Paul Naschy has some really good stuff there in both volumes. So you're good with those. Yeah, Z Argento's in Land of the Dead. Jason, I've got like a autographed picture from George Romero on from Land of the Dead, and it's like it has a Zia in the background. People Under the Stairs, $10. Like who's not going to pick that up? Phantom of the Paradise. You should own that. That is fantastic. Well, I'm a big fan of Prana, so Prince of Darkness too. Like there's so many good films here. Rabbit is an amazing film. Wreck is still here actually, is it? No, Wreck is sold out. So some of these might be sold out that I'm mentioning then. See, they should put it right on the outside. So if I'm mentioning something here, by the way, guys, that's sold out, I do apologize. Which makes me nervous because I'm kind of worried that some of the ones that I'm kind of interested in are going to be sold out. RoboCop films are fun. I need to see if my Silent Night Deadly Night. That's still there. So yes, I'm super excited with that. The Strangers, of course. Slither's a really fun film. Sleepaway Camp, of course. Dead Ringers is sold out. Tales from the Hood, amazing anthology film. 100% recommend that one. I know if you've seen Tales from the Hood 2, you may not be so excited about getting it, but Tales from the Hood, the original, is really good. I have to go down and check and see if the one that I really, really want is sold out. I can't afford it, but I just keep looking at it. So let me just peek down low here. I bet it's going to be sold out. And I'm going to cry on camera. Things like, it's there. It's there and I can't afford to get it. The biggest thing on my wish list out of the Scream Factory stuff are a couple things. The Fly collection is there, which is I don't have. But even bigger than that, I'm a huge slasher fan. I'm a huge, huge slasher fan. And there's a Slumber Party Massacre Deluxe Limited Edition Steelbook with action figure. And it includes a lithograph. If I could have one thing from that sale, if I had the money, that is it. Because that is, wow. I grew up like with these films, and Slumber Party Massacre is one of those that I would watch over the whole trilogy. That I would watch over and over again. To own a Russ Thorn figure would be like Yeah. Tales from Dark Side is a really good one. You're gonna love that, Dustin. It's got a great like documentary on there as well. But yeah, I mightn't get it, but I'll dream about it. The Russ Thorn figure and that really sexy lithograph that you did. I would love to see Sun Pride Massacre 2 and 3 come back in print. I do own it, but those are two fun films, and I think everybody should own it. I'm not one of those people that is like super glad when I get something. Oh, look, it's limited. It's got in print. Ha, nobody else will be able to get it. Uh, I would prefer like if that they said, okay, let's put out another edition of it, because I want to make sure that anybody that wants to get it can get it. Have a great night, David. Thank you for staying in for so long. I'm going to be doing that in a second too, by the way. That's exactly it. I'm already like basically, oh, on less than peanut butter sandwiches at this point, dude. Uh, but that's the thing. That's my better half said. Well, you can't get everything. You gotta find you gotta pace yourself at some point. But which is true. It's it is super true. Anyway, there you go, guys. At 100 minutes, we talked pretty much debated the entire Halloween uh, franchise. That was amazingly fun, and I had a blast doing it on stuff that I agreed on stuff that I didn't agree on. It didn't matter. It was, like I had like it was pretty awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know that I'm doing a different thing than most people are doing for this 31 Days of Horror, but I wanted to mix it up a bit. I'm I have fun mixing things up a bit. Hopefully, you guys do too. I am Aaron. Thanks for coming in on this much later one that I normally do. I bet you that toast still isn't dry. This is my movie library. You are the Cult of Cinema. You guys rock. To my Crimson Cult, you guys help keep this channel going afloat because it's really kind of harder sometimes. Thank you so much for that. Hey, Mary. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, everybody. Have a fantastic night, and I will keep you guys updated on my trip because I will hopefully be filming some live stuff with my dad. So we'll see that. Talk to you later. Happy Thanksgiving, man.